it's me, and welcome to episode 34 of The Weekly Whisper. I'm your host, Elian Habanero, and I'm here to talk all things 365 Pro Wrestling, and I got a lot to talk about today as always, and it's going to be a great episode. Let's just kick it off. What's on my mind right now? The 365 Twitch channel it's booming. In like 10 days of being active, they already became an affiliate. They already got tons of followers in the last couple of days, and it's so fun. If you watch their Twitch streams, if you watch it live, you can be a part of the chat. Now, some of the past members of the roster and current members of the roster have dropped in and participated, and we got some of the fans. Like, I know Big Ticket Reggie Marley has participated, Nolan James. I myself have participated. I haven't seen all of them, so there's been others. Some of the fans, some of the up-and-coming trainees, anybody can be involved with it, and it's really nice to look at some of the older matches and some of the most recent matches. And coming up tomorrow on the Twitch stream, they got the Battle of the Sexes, which was an event that took place in Guelph, Ontario at the Red Chevron Club, and it's going to be streaming there on Twitch, so check that out. And every match was an intergender match, and had some form of female or male competitors involved in the match, and it's pretty cool. And if you missed the live stream due to your time schedule or whatnot, you can go back and rewatch the streams. And it's just a fun little interactive thing, and it's growing really fast, so it's something I recommend you get on, and it's really inspired me. I know my cameraman does his Twitch. He keeps his stuff private. He only live streams. But I decided I really like playing the Super Mega Baseball game, so I went and, I'm going to start this soon, but I went and created my own team of past and present 365 PWA roster members. And I'm going to start streaming every game of a 162-game season when I have the chance, and put it available up on the Twitch and also on YouTube. So it's really cool that I got inspired and seeing how cool this platform is, because it's what people are doing nowadays. YouTube is very popular as well, but like for the gamers and just for the interactive, Twitch has really taken over, and I'm glad to be a part of that. And I've been busy with my Weekly Whisper. And I also, if you get a chance, I was recently interviewed on The Fan by Sarah Skullmaster. Just came out on the weekend there, and I really enjoyed doing that. So if you have time, check that out. I gotta put the shameless plug in for myself, but you know, it's my show, so I'm gonna put myself out there. But yeah, check out the Twitch channel. It's growing, and it's something that's fun to be a part of. I enjoy myself. I was being a wise ass. Nolan James still isn't talking to me. Every time I tried to comment when he was on the live chat, he wouldn't respond, and you know, I get it. He's really into doing whatever his plan is in wrestling, and he's decided, you know, he doesn't need friends. He just wants to win, and by any means necessary, I guess. So it's a shame to me, but I get it. I've been in the wrestling business a long time, and I know how sometimes, you know, acquaintances, friends, you got to drop them off at the bus station as you're rolling through town, because you got to do what you got to do to advance to the next level. So props to Nolan for that, but thumbs down for you know, for not being there for me, and still hasn't responded for me reaching out to comment on that. But anyway, so we're 11 days away from the next event, September 5th in Campbell River, BC at the Willow Point Hall. Bell time is 7:30. There's still a couple tickets, so if you want to get on that, you better hurry. But it's going to be huge, and I know the first show, I thought there might be some ring rust involved, and it didn't appear to be. And some of those matches are going to start coming out on Twitch soon, too, so check that out. It's going to be great to see, but it seemed like everybody was ready and bring their A game, but if not, this second show, since the whole closure of live events, this is going to be the second event that's been run. It's going to be, people know what to expect. Like the wrestlers, they know their limitations, and they know what it was like the first time getting back in after a 5-6 month break. So I expect it to even be more impressive than the first show. I'm not saying that can be easily topped, but I just feel like, because look at some of the matchups too as well. So yeah, the main event, we got Liza Hall is going against the Golden Boy Travis Williams to become the global champion, and she's also the global women's champion as well. So it's going to be a great match. They've battled before. There's a big history there. Everybody is very excited for this match, but me personally, I'm excited for all the matches. But that one's going to be there's a reason why that's your main event. But all these could be, in my opinion, because we also got the grand champion. Jordy Taylor, the old greedy bastard, is defending his grand championship against Campbell River's own Eddie Osborne. And Dr. Walls made this match after a whole bunch of back and forth between Jordy Taylor and Brett Matthews, but the request was granted, and good luck to Eddie Osborne. He's been a collector of titles over the years, but Jordy Taylor just seems to be at the top of his game. He's in his peak of his career right now, so it's not going to be an easy feat. And Eddie also lost to Judas at the last show, so Jordy's kind of going this way and Eddie's going this way, so hopefully he can turn it around real quick, is what I'm saying. And then we got the chairway to hell match, Cremator Von Slasher versus Nolan James with Zach Andrews. I feel this was a great decision by Dr. Walls, allowing chairs to be a legal device to be used in this matchup to even the odds for Cremator, who it wasn't really right what Nolan and Zach did to him in that first live event. Not the first. I keep saying it's the first, but it feels like it's been like a lifetime ago since we had shows. So it's since August 1st. Oh my gosh. Anyway, we're not gonna edit this out, even if I have a little bit of a list or a tongue twister or whatever. But anyway, so I'm looking forward to the Chairway to Hell match. Also, TJ Harley. You've seen some of his crazy videos. Check them out they're on Facebook. They're on YouTube. I don't know about Instagram and Twitter. I don't do that, but if you do, they pretty much have everything there. So TJ Harley is going to be taking on one half of the tag team champions, Haviko, and they battled before, but this has a real different dynamic to it, and it's going to be interesting to see what is this TJ Harley all about. But I really want to know. And then we got the match I was kind of alluding to earlier. Jordy Taylor said if Brett Matthews could beat Tony Baroni, then he would get another shot at Jordy Taylor. Dr. Walls has signed away on this, so that's going to happen. So if Brett Matthews can get by Tony Baroni, then Brett Matthews will indeed go against Jordy Taylor one more time on the next show after that. And then we got the triple threat match, the triangle match, the three-way, which is the Born Sitter Judas Icarus versus Rhea Von Slasher versus Beef Boy Elliot Tyler. All the matches could steal the show, but this one's going to have some added fireworks with 3 competitors in a match like that. It's more action. There's more combinations of moves that you can see. There's just way more possibilities, and I feel like this one is going to be something the fans will be talking about August 6th, the day after the show. So I decided, I used to do the rumor roundup on the Whisper, but when there wasn't really a lot of events going on, there wasn't as much action and shaking and bacon or whatever you want to call it. But I'm bringing back the rumor roundup because now there's starting to be things going amongst the circles. You start hearing talk, you hear buzz, and they are just rumors. I report facts on this show. I make my top 5, in my opinion, lists. But the rumor roundup is just things I've been hearing little tidbits about, and then I go ahead and make a mountain out of a molehill by myself. And none of these are confirmed to be true. None of them are facts, but I just like to bring them up and see if anyone knows any more about it, or anyone could totally say, no, that's not true at all. But as we've seen at the last show, here's my first one. Former commissioner of the PWA, Eric Offlegger, he kind of confronted Dr. Walls at the last event, and I know I was talking that this isn't over, but I've been hearing that he's been making some calls and he's been putting some feelers out, so to speak. I don't really know what that means, but I know Eric's kind of on a bit of a warpath, and he's bitter, and he's going to try and do something about it, so keep an eye on that. Also, another thing I've been hearing about is Clay Wilson, who for some reason, still haven't really got an explanation why he was included on the British Columbia show, and he was the only one really from out of province, as I know people from out of country are not able to travel, I believe, to Canada. I'm not sure exactly, but as far as I believe, only Canadians are allowed to move around the country. But why was Clay Wilson there? Will he be back there? What happened? What kind of business dealings did he make when he was out there? And we're going to be hearing more about this. I'm going to try to, my old nemesis Clay Wilson, maybe reach out to him. Maybe we could bury the hatchet and maybe he'll speak to me about the Weekly Whisper here. And also, speaking of Ontario people, I know the Temple, specifically Tex, who's kind of like the businessman of the Temple. That's his part to play, as he's not an active wrestler like CC, Jeff, and Lenny are. But there's no shows going on in Ontario, so maybe, from what I'm hearing, do they want a piece of the BC pie? I know before, Tex had a pretty good relationship when he was commissioner of PWA with Eric Offlager when he was the BC commissioner. And, he's familiar with some of those business deals and some of the management types out there. Could they be trying to work their way into some BC appearances or something like that? I don't know, but I wouldn't put it past them. But I have been hearing rumblings of something to do with the Temple, that they're getting, they don't want to sit around any longer, so we'll see what happens with that. Let me know if you've heard any more information, please. Sometimes people give me little bits and they don't want to give me any more, but it just makes me want to keep digging and digging and digging. So also, as everyone knows, Cremator Von Slasher, he doesn't really, he's kind of like a lone wolf. I know back in the past he was with a faction with Lack and the Von Slasher family, and they had a manager, Father X and Rhea and whatnot, but he's never one to ever want help or ask for help, and I know he wouldn't do that. But with a 2-on-1 with Nolan and Zach, could somebody maybe reach out to him and offer help? And would Cremator, in fact, take it if the chance? Could it be someone from the past? Does Cremator have someone new he ran into? Could all this be a bunch of BS? Who knows? But something, this can't keep going on forever. And Cremator's got a lot of people that respect him, even if, he's a strange character. But still, some people just respect everything he could do in the ring and don't like to see him just have the numbers game creep up on him, is what I'm trying to say. So look for something maybe more to come of this. Is the Chairway to Hell the last chapter? I just have a feeling it's not over between these three, and what I'm saying is it could possibly be more. And then if he were to get someone, could Nolan and Zach or Cremator and someone, if he gets somebody, could the tag team titles come back into play after this show as well? And speaking of BC being one of the only places to be able to run live events the proper way and follow all the legal obligations that they're supposed to, I know a lot of people, there's a lot of companies in the mainland of BC, but the restrictions are different because the population is so different than Vancouver Island. I know we've had Judas Icarus, Travis Williams, Liza Hall, Beef Boy Elliot Tyler, this upcoming show Tony Baroni, but look for other mainland wrestlers to try to get in with 365. TJ, I believe, comes from Powell River, which is still a ferry ride, but I wouldn't include him in the mainland. But with a lot of wrestling on the mainland being down, some of these competitors are very hungry. And, they want a shot at the Grand Championship. They want to be a global champion. Some of the females might want to go for Liza Hall's title. So look for some more mainland wrestlers to find their way in as long as the shows keep running. We haven't had another show, as far as I know, announced yet after September 5th. But unless, a second wave hits or there's more cases, I can see them being able to still keep running shows, even if it is still at limited capacity. But in my opinion, it will go up, the numbers will climb, they'll be allowed more and more, and people are going to want to be a part of that. I know I want to be a part of that, and all the people out here want to wrestle, so I could see that being something. So, I've talked a lot about some of Dr. Wall's decisions, and the former Commissioner Eric and former Commissioner Tex, so I thought today I would do, my opinion, my top 5 list of the best commissioners in the history of the 365 PWA brand. So let's get into that. Please write your list, or if you've heard any rumors, put in the comments. Come on, people, let's hear from you guys. Let's do the show together. So anyway, top 5 PWA 365 commissioners in the history of the company or the brand. At number 5, I got Corey Spade. I felt sometimes he kind of went into business for himself, but a lot of times he did what was best for the fans. And, I've had my run-ins with him, and other people have as well, but I felt through the majority of his run as commissioner, I would give him a thumbs up. He did pretty good, and he deserves to be in this top 5 list, in my opinion. And so that's where he is, at number 5. And then we got, at number 4, the man I mentioned earlier, Eric Offlegger. It sucks to see this new character, or maybe characteristics, I don't know, maybe new side of Eric that we didn't used to see before, but you know, that's what the pro wrestling business can make you bitter, and it can make you feel like you weren't appreciated. But I appreciated him. I don't really like what he's doing now, but I felt when he was commissioner at BC, he did all in his power to give the fans the best events that he could, and make the best decisions he could, and I'm going to put him at number 4. At number 3, I got Michelle King. Michelle King was probably the most fan-friendly commissioner in the history. She was very loved by the audience, and she always cared so much about the fans. And I was involved with her in a couple of things going on with Corey Spade, who was on the list, but Michelle really always cared about the fans, and I would say she was the most fan-favorite commissioner of all time, in my opinion. So I put her at number 3. And then at number 2, I gotta put Dirty D. Now, Dirty D, he was the most hands-on commissioner, I believe. He was always driving the ring truck, setting up the ring, putting up posters. He was down and dirty in the nitty-gritty, and he did whatever he had to do to get the fans to the building and get them a show that they could be excited and happy to go home of. So Dirty D is in the number 2 spot. And at number 1, I know where my bread gets buttered. I'm putting Dr. Walls, because I know he hasn't been commissioner for that long, but I feel like being able to keep the company going during a global pandemic and make all the right decisions without getting too much criticism, and as far as decisions as far as, like following the bylaws and not running events when they shouldn't run events and that kind of stuff, but also his matchmaking decisions. When he talks, you can see his YouTube videos. I believe one just dropped again yesterday, and he explains himself well. He's very well spoken, and he's been really great to me. He's allowed me this platform for this Weekly Whisper. When I reach out to him, he's always willing to help or tell me what he knows, and I just got to commend him, and it's been a real pleasure working under him. As all the other ones I worked as a wrestler under, so it was a little bit different dynamic, but I have respect for all of them that made the top 5 list. So there it is. Number 5, Corey Spade. Number 4, Eric Offlegger. Number 3, Michelle. Number 2, Dirty D. And at number 1, Dr. Walls. Now, there's a couple people that were left off the list, which I'm sure they're not going to be happy about. I left Tex Lexus off. He did a lot of good for the financial and business side of the PWA at the time, but I felt like he abused his power way too much, and also that he had to have rigged that vote somehow for him to become commissioner. I'm sure he was throwing money at people, and it just didn't seem fair. But he did do some really great things for the brand, but I just felt like he didn't care about the fans so much. He cared about the business, and he cared about himself. He always put himself first, so that's why he didn't make the list. Kind of similar for Juan Ortiz. He was a commissioner back in 2005-2006 era, and he was instrumental in taking over the Great Lakes Championship Wrestling and that whole merger and everything like that. But I also felt too like he was a little bit into business for himself, and he kind of picked his favorites and was not fan friendly. He just cared about lining his own pockets. And then we have also the late great Waldo Von Erich, who he held a desk as PWA commissioner in the past. He was not, he was getting up there in age, so he wasn't a hands-on commissioner. He would make all his decisions in the office and whatnot, but I felt like he made a real ton of great decisions. So that's it. Let me know who your top 5 commissioners are. Just pick your favorite, and we'll go from there. And please, if you can, like, or you get a leg drop, comment, or you get a clothesline, subscribe, or you get a suplex, and share, or you get a sleeper. I'm your host, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba!